You got a lot of stuff going on right now, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
They write, I don't even have to write anything anymore.
Well, you got the book called Me of Little Faith.
Yes.
Which is great, by the way.
Well, thank you.
And you're on tour right now, of course, the Wells Fargo Center this Thursday.
Yes.
And you like the place so much that when it was the Luther Burbank Center, you named a CD.
I did, and then they immediately changed the name of it.
Yeah, right
They
after.
were ashamed.
I said, that's it. Black's got a CD with our name on it. We're changing the name.
Which I said, I'm trying to help you guys out. I'm putting you on the map. We got nominated for a Grammy. They changed the name.
Well, listen, like many people, I first found you on The Daily Show, and my wife and I, we watch The Daily Show every night, but the days that you were on were always our favorites, and we became huge fans, and I got to tell you, Black on Broadway, to me, is still the best HBO special that's ever been on that network.
Thank you.
It was brilliant.
Thanks.
Any plans for another one anytime soon?
Well, here's an interesting thing. HBO won't give me a special now that I have a series with Comedy Central because they consider them
competitors.
The competitors.
Oh my God!
Well, that's the planet we're living on.
Yeah.
Because really, people will just go, "Oh God, he's doing." I mean, they're insane. So I may be doing. I will probably be doing some sort of a special for Comedy Central, and we can figure out how I can use my language.
Thank God. What does that mean? You have to be on at 3? They have to put it on at 3 in the morning or something?
Probably.
Oh boy.
Probably at dawn.
So, what are we expecting on Thursday, your return to the Wells Fargo Center?
Nothing I don't think anyone has seen. I don't think it's an all-new show.
Oh, good.
Because I have so much to pick from nowadays. So there's a lot of discussion of alternative fuels because the stuff that I talk about makes me angry, and that one really makes the idea that you're going to drill for oil, as much as it's like doing that in at Wells Fargo. I mean, at the Wells Fargo is kind of easy, but I'm so angered by the idiocy of it because we've been arguing. We've been doing this since I was a kid. It's like, can we do it now? Can we just really try to figure it out now?
Yeah.
You keep putting it on the shelf like it's gonna, and I'm sick of it. So I talk a lot about that. I talk about the economy. It's all fun stuff.
It's a real upper.
It's an upper, I think. If you, I talk about the election. I talk about her. I talk about him. I talk about both hymns, all three hymns.
Well, I have to ask you about Sarah Palin.
Yeah, well, it's fiction. I don't even believe she exists. I don't believe that this is really happening. I'm serious. I think I've never lived through anything. It's like you couldn't have written this.
Right. Somebody said that to me the other day, and I just looked at him and said, "You're so right."
Well, it's true. I mean, I've been saying for over a year and a half, there's nothing that I can do that's funnier than what I'm reading about, and this really is spectacular. She is. It's like watching the movie Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, the Frank Capra movie with Jimmy Stewart. Only Jimmy Stewart's more qualified, and he's dead. He's a dead man, and he's more qualified than she is. I've never seen anything like it. It's like American Idol. It's like, oh, wow, we found a new face, and isn't she good at... And she is. She's great at representing a lot of what women have to deal with, and her, and what she... But it's like, seriously? At this point, I'm looking at a paper in which the Wall Street is the worst loss since '01. The president doesn't seem to even be on board anymore. And
no, he's gone.
Your idea of a vice president is someone who is... You had 50 people. Look, I don't care. You have to... You can't want to be president that badly. Both of them. I'm serious. I would start over. It's time to start over. He doesn't pick Hillary, who's the obvious choice if you want to win as a Democrat. He doesn't pick her.
Right.
I don't care. And they disagree on 2%. McCain picks somebody that he disagrees with about 40%. It's like, come on. This is mad. We're marching into madness, and nobody seems to care. And none of them, a week ago, none of them could have told it? None of them. Not one of them. Not even the president. Oh, it's all going to be okay. Don't tell me they didn't know this was coming.
Of course they did.
Like being in an insane asylum. If you're the tour guide and you're in front of the canoe paddling, you have to say there's a waterfall coming.
You know, the talk about from the McCain camp about Obama being a cultural icon, a star in the form of like Britney and Lohan and all that, and really Sarah Palin. Don't you think she's kind of like a pop icon herself, a pop culture thing?
She did. She that's exactly what it is. It's like they took a page out of the Democratic playbook. They said, okay, we can find somebody who does that and does it better because she doesn't have any qualifications.
And she's good looking.
I don't think she is, and I'm tired of hearing it.
Really?
Well, people seem to think so. It's not my style. I don't get it.
Well, I've always been hot for Tina Fey.
What planet? What, you mean the secretary, the librarian who takes her glasses off and lets her hair down? It's really? That's it?
Yeah, I guess. That's probably it.
I don't think, you know why? Because of what comes out of her mouth.
Right.
It's a lot. For all I hear men and women talk about it, for someone who, during the course of his life, has wanted to, sleep with certain women and basically tried to go deaf, this is really would require me to put an awl in my ear and destroy my eardrums.
Besides the current stuff, energy and the economy and the election, what else are you going to get into on Thursday night?
My virginity, the loss of it.
Oh, good.
Which occurred.
It's about time.
It's
about time we heard that.
It's been a long haul. No, there is a long section about how I lost my virginity.
Okay.
And about turning 60, which I just did.
Oh, congratulations.
No, I had nothing to do with it. It's an accident.
So how long is this tour you're on?
It never ends, really. I mean, I have continued to tour each year for about at least 150 to 200 days.
Wow. And you do the Daily Show now, back in black.
About once a month.
Once a month, yeah.
We're supposed to do it before they left for the things, before they left for the conventions, and we couldn't get it in, and then they came back, and they're there this week, and I leave tomorrow, so it made it tough to get it on this week.
But
so
you will be back
in a couple of weeks.
Okay. Now you grew up in suburban D.C., right?
Right.
And you had a pretty straight ahead upbringing. You're middle class, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely middle class. The last of the middle class.
You weren't a poor black boy born in
no.
in a barn or born in a you know what I'm trying to say. I forgot how that phrase goes. So, what was your upbringing like?
It was the last of the Leave It to Beaver upbringings, except my parents were a little quirkier, and we lived in a suburb, and we had a postage stamp lawn, and I went to a public high school when they could still, before my generation destroyed education, and it was a great education, and nobody was homeschooled in the neighborhood, and I hung out with people from every kind of faith. And it was great. I mean, it really was kind of the last of the idyllic upbringings.
Yeah,
and it was a great time.
Your parents, I know they were in the audience in the Black on Broadway thing, and that was a kick to watch them. They were cracking up as much as everybody, and even with all the words, the words you can't say on radio.
Exactly, and they just both are now turned 90.
Wow.
Yeah,
and they're still laughing at you.
180 years of fun.
Well, congratulations on all the success. I'm a huge fan, and
thank you.
You've got a lot of huge fans around here too, who will be there Thursday.
I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm bringing my friend John Bowman is coming back, and all of his stuff is completely. He really even goes more insane about Palin than I do.
Oh, good.
And it'll be a lot of fun. I love working in that room.
Yeah.
I think it's a great room, and it really is always a thrill to be back.
And Carlin did his last show there, and Dana Carvey. It's becoming a huge place for the HBO specials and stuff.
Well, it's a great room. I mean, seriously, it's tough to find a room that you feel that comfortable in with that many people. It's really that, and the one in the outdoor space in Saratoga.
Yeah, the Mountain Winery. That's beautiful.
Yeah, those two are two of my favorite places to play, and plus the audience gets it. They don't panic in the middle of a paragraph.
Which is important.
Yes.
Louis, thank you so much for taking the time today, and we will see you Thursday at the Wells Fargo Center.
Yes, and I look forward to it. You
All right.
take care.
You too,
and we'll
buddy.
See you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.